Hello, Forecaster here again, and we are back for Detour number 32, and this is Oxygen Not Included. This is a simulation base management game, which is developed and published by Cly, who makes unique and interesting games generally. It was released into early access in May of 2017, and it is, as you can see, currently in development, and the next update will release in about a week. And I have no idea what that is going to be, but it is undoubtedly going to be interesting. So, we're going to jump straight into this, a standard game. So this game is quite interesting. Like I said, it is a base management game and a bit of a survival game, but it centers around fluid and gas mechanics. So to start, we get to choose 3 duplicants, and they are randomly generated. They have different traits. I'm not going to spend time on this screen while recording, so we're just going to jump straight in. And we've woken inside a distant asteroid. We don't know how we got here. They'll need to survive to find answers. Now, in this early access version, I'm not actually sure if you can find answers or not. I've actually never gotten that far. And I don't know if that is possible. But it might be. So, as you can see, it's 2D. Takes place from the side, obviously. And we start out with a printing pod, which is a device capable of producing more duplicates, which is what our colonists are called. We have a ration box, which has some food. It is unrefrigerated. We have 20 kilograms of nutrient bars, which is going to run out. Now, like I said, the primary focus of this game is gas mechanics as well as fluid mechanics, but mostly gas. So we have a bit of a cave here, and it is filled with oxygen. And the bright blue color implies it is very breathable. That is very high quality. We then have lower in quality, and then red, of course, is unbreathable. We also have some, there can also be other gases, although it appears we don't have any of those here. So that's unfortunate that I don't get to demonstrate that. But we are immediately going to want to start expanding the base. Now, we have water over here, which is important. Unsurprisingly, you need water to do a lot of stuff. So we're going to dig a bit of a tunnel over in this direction. And of course, there's a bit of a tutorial. And we're going to build a pitcher pump. Here. And then we're going to build a tile here for the duplicates to walk on. Actually, maybe I don't want to build that in the water. So I'm actually going to build it above the water, just in case the tile destroys water. Which I'm not sure if it actually does or not, but oh well. I'll do that just to be safe. So since we have a limited amount of time, we're not going to make it super far into the game. But I'm going to play for as long as we can, and I'll explain the basics as we go. There is a research tree, which we cannot access at the moment because we don't have a research station. But you, of course, use that to unlock more advanced buildings. And we're probably not going to see a lot of research. We may be able to do a little. So now we're going to have a source of water. I'm going to need to build a bathroom somewhere. And I think this little space down here does have some plants in it, but I'll probably just uproot those and then I can plant them somewhere else later on. So I'm going to put a ladder there so the duplicants can get down. And then in medicine, we have a wash basin. We're going to build one of those there. And then in plumbing, we have an outhouse. And once the plants are removed or uprooted, we're going to place one here. One of the things I love about this game are the general aesthetic. The presentation is very nice. It's a bit of a cartoony style, of course. The animations on the duplicants are adorable. So now we have built a wash basin, and this is, of course, a sink that the duplicants will use to wash their hands, and they will do so when they pass by. And this arrow here indicates which direction they need to be going to wash their hands. So since we're going to build the latrine in this, or the outhouse over here, we want them to wash their hands when they are passing to the right. So we're going to change this to right. So now when they go into the latrine, they will not wash their hands. But when they go in the opposite direction, when they're leaving, they are going to be washing their hands. And we can see that this duplicant, Nicola over here, got some water from the pitcher pump, and they are going to place that into the wash basin in this tank on the left here, which is going to contain clean water. And then as they use it, it's going to convert that into polluted water, which is a byproduct, I suppose, which you can't really use for anything, particularly not early on. Later on, you are going to research technologies to allow you to convert polluted water back into clean water using a filtration machine, which uses sand. But until then, all we can do is store it, and we're going to get to that shortly as well. I'll have to create a reservoir somewhere. So we have a water reservoir here. We also need a reservoir for polluted water. And I guess I could probably do that down here. So if we continue this ladder down like that, and then we can actually replace this here with tile, because it looks a little nicer. And as you can see here, now that the sink is floating, it reports missing foundation, and it doesn't actually work. And now that they've built tiles underneath it, it's back to working. You can build pretty much anything in the air. The game doesn't really prevent you from doing so, but of course the buildings that are hovering will not actually work. And this is a nice solution because it doesn't apply restrictions to where you can build things, which can sometimes be quite annoying. This is a hatch. It's a creature that basically eats loose items and junk things, minerals, and pretty much anything, I think, that lies around on the ground. And they bury in the ground and sometimes pop up and start eating things, and then they will go back to sleep, pretty much. And you generally want to kill them when they appear near your base, because you don't want them eating your resources. Although, of course, one of the better solutions is to build some storage compactors. And these are basically, they store items, and you need to configure them. We're going to configure these to store anything. And then the duplicants, when they don't have anything to do, they're going to pick stuff up from the ground, and they're going to place the items into the storage compactors, and they're going to fill up, and we're going to need to build more of them eventually. But yeah. Ooh, okay, and I want to actually connect into that. Actually, what I can do, we have one of these, a bottle emptier. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Press the wrong key there. We're going to build one of these here. We're going to build a tile. So this allows duplicants to place fluids into the world, pretty much. They will pick up fluids from anywhere, and they will take the fluid to this, depending on how it's configured, and they will place it into this, and this will slowly drain the fluid from the container into the world. So here we can configure this for water, because we want water here. And then what I can do is I can build a pitcher pump, say here. And I'm going to dig there. And then we're going to prioritize these. And normally duplicants will not pick fluid up directly from a pump and place it into a bottle emptier. But there is a setting here that we can enable that's normally disabled that allows them to do just that, which means that they are going to take any water that they can get, and we're probably going to want to disable this building while we're using water from down here. Now, unfortunately, they managed to drop some sand into this, which kind of wrecked the shape. So we're not going to be able to pick up all of the water unless we remove that sand. I don't actually know if this will extend or if you need to rebuild it. We're currently in the night cycle, so we're going to fast forward for a little bit. Eventually, pretty soon, we're going to want to build some cots for the duplicants so they can sleep properly. It looks so awkward. Yeah. And then they wash their hands. It's nice because sanitation is actually also important. Things get dirty. There are bacteria. And they can get sick or food poisoning and other things from there being bacteria and things. And you want to keep such things from spreading, of course, just like in real life, by making sure that they are sanitary. Later on, you can also build showers, and you can have a plumbing system where you have water pumps pumping water into a more high-tech version of the outhouse that gets clean water from a pipe and produces polluted water. There's a similar version of the wash basin called a sink, which also hooks up to pipes. And there's also a shower. Of course, you need to research those, so we don't have access to those at the moment. So the duplicants are cleaning. Now things are prioritized, and if we go into the prioritization mode here, we can see that things have numbers on them. And it's pretty straightforward. Higher number is higher priority, and they will try to, if a task is available and it has a higher number, they will do that first. You can also, when you, for example, when you build something, you can set the initial priority here. And yeah, that's pretty much that, I guess. I'm not sure why there is no sound. Okay, it's just very quiet. There we go. Don't know why I lowered it that much. Must have done that for a reason. Got a bunch of chlorine over here. So it seems we can't build in this tile here, and I think it's because this plant here is actually 2 tiles tall, because it can grow to be that. So what we're going to do is we're going to uproot this as well, which turns it into a seed basically, and then we should be able to build a tile there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand in this direction, and I'm going to build some beds or cots for the duplicants. Now I'm actually going to cancel that, and I'm going to make sure that they pick this seed up before I block this hole off. Now, of course, the building tiles is not strictly necessary, but they do provide a beauty bonus. Actually closed this shine bug in this hole, which I kind of regret because they are useful because they produce or provide some light. I'm going to let that out of there. I need to make sure that they sweep this sandstone out of there. And then we're going to block that off. Hope the bug doesn't fly back down into the hole before then. And now we're going to go into furniture, and we're going to build 3 cots. Now, first I want to make sure that none of the duplicants are loud sleepers. Let's see. You have diver's lungs, that's fine. Narcoleptic. Iron guts, that's fine. Where is iron behind there? And you are destructive, but you don't have loud sleeper either. So there's a trait that is called loud sleeper, which means that when they are sleeping, they actually snore, I guess, which produces a disturbing sound in a radius around the cot. So if one of them has that, you want to place that cot at least 3 tiles from any nearby cots to make sure that they don't disturb the other duplicants when they are sleeping. Fortunately, none of my duplicants currently have that, so that's not an issue. Of course, eventually we would get a new duplicant in about just over half a cycle. We're going to get to pick a new duplicant, so it's going to randomly generate 3 new ones, and we're going to get to pick one of them to join our colony. I'm not entirely sure why they aren't picking up water. Actually, never mind, he's doing that now. Not sure where he's going with that. Okay, he's putting it into the bottle emptier. So that's basically going to move water from this reservoir here up into this one. This one is actually pretty full. I'm going to put a ladder here, and I'm going to order them to dig this bit out to make some more room. So the duplicants don't mind going into fluids at all, such as water. When they get into an area where they can't breathe, either because it's in a fluid or because it is, for example, filled with carbon dioxide, which is unbreathable, of course, they will just hold their breath, which they can't do indefinitely, also obviously. But they can hold their breath for a while, and then when they run out, they will run back to an area where they can breathe, and they will stop and catch their breath for a while. That duplicant had a skill go up a level, which is a thing that can happen. Looks like our storage compactors have filled up, so we're going to have to build a couple more of them. They don't store a whole lot, unfortunately. I don't know if there's an upgraded version, a better storage. Actually, there might be, or there might be in the future. We are running out of time, so I'm not going to be playing for much further. We unfortunately didn't get to research. I don't really want to do a let's play of this game right now, because it is being developed pretty heavily. But sometime in the future, when it's more complete or entirely complete, then it will be more relevant to do a let's play of it. In particular, when I'm sure that there is a goal to be reached to find out what happened, as the introductory pop-up implies there will be, if there isn't already. That would be interesting. But I'm going to leave it here. And if you are interested in this kind of game, which focuses on gases and fluids and a bit of physics and such, then you should definitely check it out. And I will see you in the next video.